Year on year, there is continued growth, but it's the other sectors which is driving the stock, and those sectors are a lot more prominent. So what has caused this stock? So I have a view on this. Number one, technology. Now, put yourself in retail. Name me one retailer that you know for sure in this country, in the UAE, that has had tremendous growth in their sales. Souk.com. The answer is right there. Souk.com. Who owns Souk.com? Amazon. So, you're a traditional retailer, I won't take any names, but you're a traditional retailer in a mall and you're complaining now that, you know what, sales are down. But are sales down because you, as a traditional retailer, have not transformed your business or acknowledged the impact that technology is having in terms of disrupting the entire sector? Because Souk.com sales are through the roof. Souk.com sales are through the roof. So we really have to question then the leadership of these retail organizations that have taken a bet on a sector by creating massive amounts of physical stores when the entire industry, the customer base is moving to a non-human touch type environment. Today when I want to order something, you know, I'm relatively busy, I don't want to interact with a human being. I want to open up my machine, I'm on email anyway, I open a new tab, I go to Souk, I click what I want, and I know when I go home it's waiting for me. Great. No, don't have to speak to anyone. My credit card's already entered. Amazon has this beautiful one-click order. In 2 seconds, I have the product. And then, you know, by chance, if I don't like it, I can even return it. How do you compete with that type of model if you are a traditional retailer? So technology has played a huge role in disrupting the retail sector, in my view. The other area where technology has played a really, really disruptive role is in the sector of advertising. There are 2 companies in particular that have disrupted the advertising space. Does anyone know who those 2 companies are? Not YouTube, but it's the owner of YouTube actually. Google is one of them. What's the other one? Facebook. Facebook and Google. You can today be a 14-year-old child sitting at home, creating a business and advertising it to a global population with a few clicks. And the entire space now is dominated just by 2 companies, Google and Facebook. Whatever you read in the press about all the issues that are happening on privacy and election rigging and all the rest of it, the fact is that no one can compete right now with Google and Facebook. So, as an organization, do I want to advertise in a traditional magazine? Many will say no. Many will say no. Advertising budgets of organizations, I can tell you even in the Shirawi group, 80 to 90% of our ad budget goes towards Facebook and Google. I don't want to get technical about what type of advertising, but that's the fact. So you have the retailers complaining, you have the advertisers complaining, and if the advertisers are complaining, the magazines are complaining, the entire media sector is complaining. If the media sector is complaining, the printers are complaining, and you see that chain. And the UAE economy, or for that matter, the global economy, has nothing to do with that disruption. I mean, with that, the cycle has nothing to do with that downturn in those specific sectors. So be careful who you are talking to. When you're having that, you know, a dinner at night or with friends, be careful, you know, which sectors do these people work in? Have they moved with the times? So technology is one really, really big area. The other area, in my view, that has caused this downturn talk are certain geopolitical events that have taken place. Now, I don't want to comment on geopolitical events. I'm not qualified to. But we all know what those events are. However, as professionals, what I would urge you to do is to keep an eye on how these events unfold. So as we begin to hear positive news on these events coming to a resolution, things can only get better. So that's how I would urge you, and I urge my team to view these events, because we have no control on these events. The third really big area that has caused this talk is VAT. So as we know, beginning of the year, the UAE government implemented a 5% VAT. Now, when you take away 5% of disposable income, in effect, from families, that's a lot. And if you look at data across countries who have introduced VAT, there's clearly, by and large, there is an impact, a negative impact on GDP when VAT is introduced. Okay? The good news in this is that VAT income, which is being collected, which is estimated to be roundabout between 12 and 20 billion dirhams, has to come back to the economy. The one thing I know, I'm pretty much born to this nation. The one thing I know is that the leaders want to put money back into the economy. So the good news, when VAT was introduced, the oil was at a very different level. As VAT collections started coming in, oil started actually rising. So we have the benefit of oil income, and we have the benefit of VAT income. All that has to come back into the economy. So I actually expect more and more project announcements. And I hope I'm right. I think over the coming months, you will see more and more project announcements. So I think the construction sector, which all of us belong to, is in particularly good shape in the coming years. So, what else has caused the cycle talk? The fourth factor, and the last one in my opinion, is actually, again, something that is out of our control, and that is interest rates. As you know, we have a currency that is pegged to the US dollar. And because we are pegged to the US dollar, our interest rates follow the United States interest rates. So the United States right now is actually booming. The economy is on a real high. So the central bank in the United States is raising interest rates. Every quarter, they come up with a small little raise. A raise in interest rates in the United States means a raise in interest rates here in the UAE and in any dollar-pegged country. That raise in interest rates actually harms the economy because people's borrowing costs go up, organizations' borrowing costs go up. Some organizations that are heavily borrowed cannot service their debt, and we start seeing cracks in the economy. And that we are seeing. So organizations that did not take care of their balance sheets during the good times are under particular pressure as these interest rates go up. So actually speaking, if the United States slows down, we will see things in Dubai and the UAE pick up because interest rates will start dropping again. So this is another thing that I would encourage all of you to look out for. In terms of Leminar, we look at this as an opportunity. We look at these times as a huge opportunity, and I would encourage all of you to do the same. I think if you're looking to, on an individual level, to buy an apartment, this time will not come back. in 2009, when the global financial crisis hit, and we were obviously impacted here in Dubai, it was the best time to buy real estate. None of us expected Dubai to recover as quickly as it did. It's a global case study on leadership, on recovery, and came 2013, and prices were heading right back up. So it was an opportunity of a lifetime to pick up real estate. Now we're seeing dips again, and we're seeing deals like we've never seen before, offered by developers. This time will not come back, in my view, because of what I've just outlined during this presentation. I think there's a lot of money there, there's a lot of liquidity, and I think the UAE's population will keep growing and growing and growing. So I think this is a very, very special time. From an organization standpoint, we are investing. We're investing in facilities, we're investing in technology, and we're investing in people. Now, these times also are forcing us to relook and make ourselves a lot more efficient, because we're competing with organizations that are truly global. So we need to be efficient. But having said that, I think this is a very, very unique time here in the UAE, and particularly here in Dubai. I'd like to end with just one particular event that is taking place here in Dubai, and that's the Expo 2020. There's been a lot of talk on the Expo 2020. Much of it is, hey, it's an event. It'll come, it'll go. But I want to give you the significance of this event. Does anyone know what's the target for the Dubai government and the UAE government, the broader UAE government, in terms of visitors to Expo 2020? What's the number? What's the number? Wait, someone, I want to pick. 25 to 30 million. I think they're sort of aiming for 25, hoping for 30. Okay. Dubai, do you agree Dubai is a nice place? Beautiful place, right? Because there's no city like Dubai in the world. So, 25 million people are going to come to Dubai from all over the world. First organization that's going to gain, at least in those 6 months, is obviously Emirates Airlines. Bringing these people in, taking these people out. But these 25 million come. What percentage of these 25 million people you think will say, you know what? I want to buy a flat here. This is a really nice place. What percentage? I'm going to continue the conversation with you. How much? 10%. Wow. Okay, so we say 2.5 million people are going to say, you know what? We want to buy a flat here. How many of those 2.5 million people actually will buy a flat? 10% of that? So 10% of 10%? Okay, so it's 250,000, right? There are not 250,000 homes available in Dubai today. There are not 250,000 homes available in Dubai today. Just to give you a significant, the significance of Expo 2020. If 1% of the visiting population, just 1%, decides to buy an apartment, those apartments aren't available. I know many of you are building towers, typical tower, 40 stories, each floor, 8 apartments, 320 apartments per tower. Think about how many towers you need to get 250,000 apartments. 1,000. Dubai is not building 1,000 towers. So the significance of Expo 2020 cannot be underestimated, no matter what financial model you run. So hence I come back to, this is a great opportunity. Great opportunity for all of you. Most of you are leaders in some way, shape, or form. If not leaders of organizations, leaders of departments, if not leaders of department, leaders of families. This is a great opportunity. This is a time we will be looking back on, in my view, and saying, you know what, we missed the boat. So, in conclusion, my humble request is that look at this nation positively, have a belief in the leadership. You see our two logos of our two different Leminar organizations have the words commitment and trust. We will continue to be committed to this nation. We will be continuing to trust its leadership, and we will be both committed and trustful towards our service and our delivery and our offering to all of you. So with that, thank you very, very much.